Hey guys, Ash here from Klein and Benny. Today we're going to go over hitching a trailer to a vehicle. Okay guys, so the first thing that we are going to check is the rating capacity of the tow ball to make sure we're not overloading the vehicle. On this vehicle, this is where it's located. This vehicle's rated to tow 3.5 tonne, but it needs to be braked. So it needs to be a braked trailer like we have here. Okay, the next thing that we're going to check in this steps that we're going through is the size of the tow ball. This trailer has a multi-size thing fitted on it, so we need to make sure that we are using the right size for the right tow ball. So if I get in close here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's 7/8 written on the top of the tow ball, which you need to check. So the way that we then check on the trailer on this side, we've got 50mm for a 50mm tow ball. If your tow ball says 50mm, you would have to turn this assembly around. At the moment, the tow ball is set on 7/8, which is the same as our tow ball that we're using on the vehicle. So you need to have this set on the side with the rating suitable to your tow ball. Right, so we are now going to marry the tow ball and the trailer together. So to do that, we're lined up here. I'm just going to wind this down. Ta-da. Right guys, now we're going to put these safety chains on, making sure that we put them on correctly. So to do that, these chains should go on opposite side, forming a cross in between them. So that one's going to go on that side, this one's going to go on this side, and then we've formed the cross in the middle, which completes hooking up the chains. Right guys, now we're going to hook the power supply up to the trailer from the truck. On these Rangers, they've got a custom made thing to go in between the two, so you have to put that on first obviously if you're using a Ranger. So I'm just going to put that in there, and that's the lights hooked up and ready to go. Alright, the next thing that we're going to talk about is the reversing hitch bit here. So if we don't have this flipped over, we cannot reverse, otherwise you will fry the brakes. So like that, the load is braked, so when you hit the brakes, this will come on and engage the trailer brakes. And saying that, if you reverse up without this in here, you're engaging the trailer brakes as well. So we're going to put this over if we're going to reverse with the trailer, which gets rid of the brakes and you can back up with no worries. The next point is the brakes. So this is essentially a handbrake for the trailer. If you've stopped or you're not using the trailer, you can engage the handbrake, but this is very important that we take the handbrake off when we do hook it up and go somewhere, because if you leave this hooked on, once again you're going to fry the brakes and we're going to spend $5,000 rebuilding them. So to unhook this, just going to push that over, lift that up. All the weight's now on the truck. We have this down to ensure that everybody knows that the brake's not on, so that we don't have that issue with the brakes. Right guys, so the next vital part that we're going to go over is making sure that, in this case, the machine, which is the load, is hitched on properly and not going to go anywhere. So obviously the buckets here, they've got their own rope on them. Check that the rope's tight, buckets aren't going anywhere. Obviously the hitching points to the digger, so this has gone over nice and tight, holding the front of the digger on. It's all hooked on the other side there, so that's all good to go. And then we come down to the back, which it's obviously there's its hitching point on the trailer. It gets threaded through the tow hitching point at the back here, and then obviously through to another hitching point on the other side. So once again, you just want to give it a thing, see, make sure it's tight, don't want it going anywhere. And that's checking the load. Okay guys, so now that we're checking all of the tail lights are working before we drive off, so we're going to check the brake lights, and then we're going to check the indicator this side, we're going to check the indicator this side, working, brakes again, perfect, all working well as it should. Okay guys, now that we've been through all these checks, secure load, check the tow ball, the rating, everything, brakes are off, good to go, we're finally out again.